of curiosity, who here knows about the Techstars? Okay, great. So about 30% of the people. This is one of the reasons I'm really excited to introduce the next speaker, David Cohen, the founder of Techstars, because everyone in this room should raise their hand and know about Techstars, because they've really pioneering a new way of creating businesses. They're a mentor-driven seed stage investment fund investing in internet startups. It started just a few years ago, and I've had amazing success stories. Because of starting Techstars and similar organizations, there's now over 200 similar accelerators that have been created around the country. So it's really a movement that all of us in the field should know about that's really working. David is a serial entrepreneur. He's started many companies and sold many as well, and just overall, even outside of Techstars, is just very active advocate for entrepreneurship. So, David, please join us.
All right, how are we doing? Pretty high energy for like the lunch day. I don't really know if I can follow like that energy, but I'll give it a shot. So instead of creating a PowerPoint, I just took some notes on my iPhone. I hope that's cool. That's what I'm going to go off of, if that's okay. I kind of live two lives. One thing I do is Techstars, which you just heard a little bit about. I'll give the 70% of you that haven't heard about it a little background. But I also run a small venture fund, and I'm an investor, as of yesterday, in 124 internet companies. I'm thinking of myself as an entrepreneur first and an investor second. So, you know, there's the entrepreneur uniform and there's the investor uniform, and I guess I dressed in the wrong uniform today, so showed up in jeans. That's what my wife laid out for me today. Sorry about that. It gets confusing when you do both things. I love exploring entrepreneurial ecosystems. I've been all over the world. I've talked to leaders of entrepreneurial ecosystems, and there's a lot of you in this room, so I feel very comfortable being around people that have that same passion that I have. That's sort of what I love and how I think about the world, and wanted really to start Techstars to improve the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the town that I'm from, which is Boulder, Colorado. So I'd like to get a woo for that. So actually, when we thought about what we could do to impact the Boulder ecosystem, I started Techstars with Brad Feld. We took actually a sort of 20-year view. That was our thought process. What can we do to impact our ecosystem over a long period of time? And I'm reminded of the amazing things that can happen over a 20-year period, because I actually went to school here 20 years ago. And I got in a cab in the airport this morning when I landed, and I said, take me to UCF. And I really haven't been back here. I'm in that Nope Club that I heard about. Sorry. And you know, just sort of said, drop me off at UCF, and then they did, and I figured out that I didn't know where the heck I was going, because the whole place had changed. There was 30 times the number of buildings. I think this is the biggest school in Florida now, which confuses me. And so I walked about 20 minutes to this building. That's how much something can change in 20 years. It's pretty amazing. We hope that our communities that we work in will change, as much. I'm an entrepreneur who did several companies, turned into an angel investor, started Techstars, which is a mentorship-driven seed accelerator. So yes, we invest money, but we invest, the thing that's much more valuable that we invest is mentorship. We have an amazing group of mentors. We put it together and basically offered it to 10 companies that we would select through a simple application process. Today we get more than 600 applications per program. We take 10. We like to say we're more selective than Harvard. People seem to dig that, so we say it a lot. And the results that we've had are just phenomenal. By putting these amazing mentors in a room with really interesting entrepreneurs and engaging across the entrepreneurial ecosystem, we found that just magic happens. That's really all you need, is to put people in a room together that are passionate about changing their community and about building innovative and interesting companies. The results are that 7 of the first 20 companies that we had go through the program have already been acquired now. Many of them have turned into angel investors in the same system. Many of them are on to their second companies in the same community. So it's just been really powerful. About 70% of the companies that go through the program end up getting outside capital after the program. So just a really neat way that the community in Boulder got together to help entrepreneurs and also attract them to the community. We then scaled that. So now we exist in 4 cities. We're in New York, where I'm actually living now for 4 months temporarily. Boston, and also Seattle. And we're seeing similar impacts already in those communities that are much larger. So I wanted to talk today, we wrote this book called Do More Faster, Brad Feld and I, about the lessons we've learned from Techstars. So there's plenty to learn from that. But we also think that we kind of should write the book for how to mentor better. We've seen mentorship evolve around the Techstars ecosystem in ways that are really interesting, and I was just asked to come and share a few of those ways, so I'll get to those. But I think, with the Techstars network, which is something we just launched as part of the Start America initiative a few weeks ago, what we're doing is helping other programs that want to do what Techstars has done, do it. So we essentially just open sourced our whole model. And as part of that, we spent a lot of time thinking about and documenting the things that do work when you provide mentorship to these early stage companies. So because we did that, I'll share a few with you. One thing that we really believe strongly is that the best mentors are motivated very intrinsically. There's social motivation, but it's usually just from within. And so the thing that appealed to the mentors that we got engaged in these programs, more than anything, was simply the improvement of the community they lived in. But more interesting things would be happening there over time. That's why they all got together and wanted to do it. We're also very, very selective in the mentor pool. We don't take just anybody as a mentor, so it's sort of a club, and they get a feeling that's very social from being a part of that club. So intrinsic motivation, look for that. We had one mentor out of 300 ask, what's in it for me? That person's not actually a mentor in the Techstars program because that's assigned to us. But 299 or so, right, said, I get it. We're going to attract new talent into our community. We're all going to get together and help these companies be successful so that we can shine a light on what's happening in our ecosystem. So it's intrinsic motivation. That's what you want in a great mentor. The other thing is that great mentors beget more great mentors. It's a social sport. And so we found that if you get the best people in a community, an interesting thing happens. Put them together as a mentor group. You also start to get good people from other communities who want to come and help those companies, because socially they can then get together with the group that's in that town and already helping and build connections and bridges to that community. So the number of people that come in from somewhere else to mentor a Techstars company is amazing. And the quality of them is amazing because the best people in the community are already engaged in helping. We also use a concept that I think is important called the concept of the lead mentor. The ratio of mentors to companies in Techstars is about 10 to 1. That's 10 mentors to 1 company. That's a phenomenal ratio. There's a social dynamic that I talked about that's implicit in that, but what we do is we spend the first month of Techstars, it's a 3-month program, we spend the first month in a process we call mentor dating. It's just a whirlwind of feedback. What happens is companies get mentor whiplash. They get told this by one mentor and this by the other mentor. Welcome to the real world, that's how it works. The process goes on for a month of that. It's constant feedback, and out of that emerges a few lead mentors for each company that, in both directions, they want to work together. We found that that is super effective. Rather than assigning mentors, letting there be a feedback period where they meet lots of people and click with some, and then it's bi-directional, sort of falling in love. I think that's an important thing to remember about any kind of mentor program. The last thing is that we don't use a curriculum of any kind. People often equate Techstars to startup school, where you come in and there's a certain curriculum and agenda and things that you teach. Instead, we think of every mentor who comes in to speak or to be on a panel as an opportunity for that company to engage with that mentor. That's all it is. And so we set up very simple discussions. We let the mentors talk about whatever they're passionate about very briefly, and then the companies can engage with people that they click with. I'll just tell a story from last night. I had a family thing, so I had to fly in this morning instead of last night. And luckily, I was still in New York because we had a team that was completely blowing up as part of Techstars. Teams blowing up are the #2 startup killer, in my opinion. And this team just didn't trust each other anymore. They had lost trust. There's no curriculum for dealing with that issue. The only thing that can help them is their own natural instincts and the help of people who've been through those things before, who can be the calm voice and sort of guide them through it. And so, rather than Techstars setting up a model where we teach specific things, we found that it's much more powerful to make sure that the lead mentors who are with the company have broad experience and can help them with the issues they actually have. Right? So we think of it less as a curriculum and more of lead mentor and relationship over a long period of time. So that's really it. And the last thing I'll just leave you with is we found, I think, what is one of the secret sauces of great successful entrepreneurial ecosystems. We engage a constant flow of new companies into the community every year. And we engage mentors across the spectrum of different disciplines, service providers, everybody in the community engages with these companies, and it's a cycle that's been pretty amazing to watch. So sorry to talk to you while you were eating your dessert. I'm David at techstars.org, and I'm really excited to talk to a lot of you. I feel like I'm amongst my people, so thanks for having me.